Today I'm going to show you how to program the scenes or subpatch function in the Mooer GE1000. The Mooer GE1000 is a modeling unit where I released a high game preset pack recently, and I was playing around with that unit because you may know, if you're familiar with my channel, that I use the Mooer GE300, which is the most flexible Mooer unit. I use it live currently. It can do everything I need and more, and I think it's very well thought out. And so I was really hoping that the GE1000 was well, almost as flexible as the GE300. Well, it isn't, but what it brought was the scenes function, or as it's called in the Mooer universe, it's the subpatch function, something. And I couldn't get it to work, so it was really annoying. And I remember using that in the GE300. It was also really annoying to program, but then finally I found out how to use it. So today I would like to show you that. But before, if you like my tones, of course in this video you won't hear any, but in my other videos you could get my preset packs if you contact me on Facebook or Instagram. Links are in the description below. And please consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. So now we are in one patch that comes with my preset pack, and this is using the subpatch function already. But if you want to access the subpatch view, or in other words, here you can go choose other presets by using the bank buttons here, and then choose in every bank here. You can choose the presets you wanna play with. So let's choose this one, for example, and if you hit the button again, which is lighting up here, so this is the Divide 13 patch for C. Then you are switching to this view where you can see you are in the subpatch mode already. You can choose between Stompbox or subpatch mode, and here you have 3 subpatches. So in other words, 3 additional scenes to the initial scene. And the scene, for those of you who are not familiar with that, is basically a selection of blocks which are active or passive. And also what you can do here is you can assign different settings of parameters in different subpatches. And so what can you do here? You can choose a name by using the rename. I already called it here lead. And then here in the subpatch setting, you can decide which blocks should be active in this subpatch, as you can see. And what I didn't find out for a long time is how to deactivate blocks, but it's very easy. You have to pull them up. So for example, if I don't want the amp the amp to be active in that subpatch, pull it up a little bit and then it's over the line. And you can do this with other things too here, and so you can activate or deactivate different blocks and hit done. And then these would be the scene in the subpatch 1 mode. Also, you can choose the color of the button, which is very nice. So if you want to have same colors for your lead scene, which I do, I'm always using blue for leads, then that is very helpful. What you can also do, or as you can see here, I created also clean subpatch. You could see what this is doing. Here, for example, the amp is deactivated because I don't use an amp in the clean scene. I'm using this EQ instead. Also the compressor. So yeah, that is the clean scene. And that is basically how you program these subpatches. But what you can also do, which makes it even more powerful, if you go back to the initial scene here, well, not the initial scene, we are still in the clean scene, as you can see here. go back to the lead, for example, and exit. Okay. Yeah, we create a little bit of a mess here by activating different scenes. So let's go to another preset first, where it's properly like how I programmed it for the preset pack. And what you can do is here you can access the amp, for example, and then if you push very long on one parameter here, the gain, for example, this is popping up, assign to expression or assign to subpatch. And if you choose assign to subpatch, you could say, let's say subpatch 1, which is our lead subpatch, let's set the gain to 100%. Subpatch 3, which I didn't show you, is something with a 0.8 delay. We can reduce the gain a little bit. And subpatch 2, it's my clean subpatch, so the amp is deactivated anyways, doesn't do anything. So then we hit done. And let's see what happens. So if we choose the lead subpatch, then we're going on the amp. Let's see, I'm always confused with these buttons, so let's do it here. It's 100%. If you go to the 0.8, you go to the amp, 41. Perfect. You can do this with other parameters too, of course. For example, here the faders in the EQ, even the frequencies. You can change the frequencies of the EQ, of the parametric EQ. So this is not a parametric EQ, sorry. Maybe let's choose parametric EQ. And here we have the frequencies. You can change the frequencies here depending on the subpatch. So in other words, you could use the same EQ for the clean scene and for the rhythm scene with different settings. It makes it very powerful. And I think you could do something like that with the control functions in the prior Mooer units like the GE300, but it was always a hassle to program these. And here it's very easy, as I showed you, once you're familiar with the editor. And the only downside is you cannot do it on the unit itself, on the PC editor. And another thing, if you are here in this view and you are going to the subpatch setting, we know this already. And we have a second page where you can see these parameters which are assigned to change in this subpatch. So very easy to use once you know how to do it. And here nothing happens. Okay, so always you have to keep in mind there are these two views, for example. This usually preset view, and then if you hit the button again, then you can access the subpatch mode and even the stompbox mode, which is this row down here where you can choose, for example, stompboxes, multiple stompboxes to be turned on or off. And yeah, I didn't play around with that, but maybe I will show you that in another video. And of course you have the expression pedal. You can choose here the priority, so which mode pops up first. So I think very well thought out. That's it for today. If you got any questions, please post them in the comment section below. And other than that, adios.